Shaza, and this will be the video presentation by Group 1 for our previous visit to IAM Medical Center. So for our previous visit, we visit multiple division that is under the hospital pharmacy services, and we gain a lot of knowledge regarding those divisions. So in this video, we will present those knowledges and give a few suggestions that would make IIUM Medical Center hospital pharmacy services much more efficient.
Standard of operation in inpatient pharmacy setting in the hospital. Firstly, the pharmacist will receive the prescription, which is in the blue color. Blue color is special for the pharmacist only. Then, the pharmacist will screening the prescription to know whether this prescription is eligible or not. Then, the pharmacist will check the medication in the floor stock, whether this medication is available or not. If this medication is not available, the pharmacist will record it in the iPesakit. Then, the pharmacist will prepare the medication and label. Finally, the staff nurse will double check this medication and send to the ward.
Okay, next, inpatient pharmacy is used to supply medication to the floor stock. Floor stock is the frequently used medication that is kept in a limited quantity. First, the medication that's supplied to the floor stock consists of 4 medication, which include common medication, extemporaneous preparations such as lotion, dangerous drug and cytotoxic drug, and lastly, drip medication. Firstly, the inpatient pharmacy will receive the indent form. Then, the pharmacy will screen the indent form either the medication is complete or not, record the quantity in the indent form. Then, the assistant pharmacy will prepare the indent form and it will be counter-checked by the senior pharmacy. And lastly, staff nurse will send it back to the ward, and the floor stock cap must cap more than the minimum limit but less than the maximum limit.
Basically, there are 3 job called satellite pharmacy. The first one is the pharmacist have to prepare the discharge medication. So after the ward pharmacy call the satellite pharmacy that this patient is ready to discharge, so it is the responsibilities of the pharmacist in the satellite pharmacist to take over this job. And secondly, the pharmacist also have to do the bedside counseling. Example condition medication that need bedside counseling is inhaler, insulin injection, and also the heparin injection. And finally, the pharmacist also provide discharge counseling, which is the patient want to discharge immediately, but this is rarely occur because it is not convenient to do counseling to many people at one time. So bedside counseling is preferred compared to discharge counseling.
Okay, in this visit, I learned that hospital pharmacy in Malaysia has more workload because they supply medication manually. However, in Singapore, the usage of machine reduces the workload and reduces the medication error. However, the usage of machine can cause unemployment for graduated pharmacy students in the hospital setting.
Welcome to Clinical PK or TDM.
Clinical PK is a part of pharmacy service which plays a role in patient care, especially when it involves drugs with narrow therapeutic index.
It also applies the pharmacokinetics principle to the safe and effective therapeutic management of drugs in an individual patient. The primary goal of clinical pharmacokinetic service includes enhancing efficacy and minimizing patient's drug therapy.
We use Clinical Pharmacokinetic Pharmacy Handbook as reference in the clinical pharmacokinetic area.
TDM is for monitoring drugs with narrow therapeutic index and cannot be given at outpatient. Patient is warded, but with close monitoring which differ it from inpatient unit. Do you know what are the indications for TDM?
Oh, it is indicated for narrow therapeutic index drug. It is also to monitor its pharmacokinetic variability and concentration, related therapeutic and its adverse effect. So, what pharmacists do?
Pharmacists will design patient-specific drug dosing, monitoring and adjust dose regimen, evaluate patient response, communicate between all healthcare professionals, especially doctors, educate and lastly, recommend essay.
Here are the example of form that we use in clinical pharmacokinetic pharmacy department unit.
Bye!
Okay, Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Kisti.
And I'm Afi. So today we are going to share about what we get from our visit to the Drug Information Services, or known as DIS. So especially we have, like the name suggests, DIS actually is the unit to provide the information, especially to the medical professional.
Yes, sir. And to provide the information, we need to firstly to gather the information through research process. So, what are the sources?
We found that there are three types of sources,
yes.
and they usually start with tertiary sources.
So, for example, the tertiary is like pharmacopoeia or
Apps.
medical apps,
Yes.
or even medical textbook.
The CPG.
And the secondary sources,
Like article review, the medical database,
such as PubMed, Scopus, and so on. And then we move to the most important sources, which is primary, the most reliable, such as a journal, case report, or even thesis.
and next another scope of DIS is to provide the continuous learning, especially for the staff, where they are they manage to have the courses, and they also have to manage the delegates from the outsiders if they want to visit the hospital, or if the hospital want to visit the outside space. And they also have to actually function like a manager, where they have to make a schedule for the PRP and also for the staff. Okay, lastly, the function of the DIS is to report ADR, adverse drug reaction, or medical errors or drug-related problems to NPRA, National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency.
Yeah.
So actually, what improvement that you can suggest for this unit?
So I think the main improvement that we need, especially in IMC, is the manpower, because we have only one. So as we know, there is need to research and receive call and collecting all the information regarding the toxicity and the adverse effect of the drugs.
So they need more manpower, and also they also need such high-end computer, because they need to run a high impact of software to get more database in one time.
And also, I think to maintain the continuity of the data, so we need to make sure the quality of the hard disk of the computer is checked from time to time to ensure that it stay in tip-top condition.
Yes. That's all from us.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum everyone. So now we are going to talk about outpatient pharmacy. So once the pharmacist receives prescription for the doctor, they need to do a screening. In this step, the pharmacist needs to validate and interpret all the details and medications prescribed and make sure all the information is correct. And if there is an issue such that the medications prescribed are out of stock, the pharmacy must contact the prescriber to inform him or her. And this problem must be documented. Next, the other pharmacies will prepare the medications by filling, labeling, and doing extemporaneous preparation when necessary. It is important to fill the correct medications and doses to avoid medication errors. After finish preparing the medication, all of this must be recorded. Then it must be counter-checked by the pharmacy who validates the prescription. After making sure everything is okay and correct, the pharmacist will dispense the medication to the patient. And if necessary, the pharmacist can offer to counsel the patient. And in this process, it is important to follow the 7R, which is the right patient, dose, route, time, drug, reason, and documentation in order to avoid medication errors.
I think IIM Operation Pharmacy has a good management and facilities. Once we enter the pharmacy, we can see that the counter is so many and are open without any barrier. So this could ensure a clear face-to-face session between the pharmacist and the patient, which is good. Another good practice is IIMMC use the online prescription system called iPesakit. So all the prescription and data are being kept online and can be accessed systematically and faster by the staff. Also, the facilities there are good and complete. The pharmacist assistant also showed us around the internal part of the operation pharmacy. We can see it is equipped with a special refrigerator to store some kind of drug that need a monitored temperature, like insulin for injection. And then the other drugs were arranged neatly in their respective racks with proper labeling. And for labeling, they also enlarged the font for the first name of the drug to avoid mistake, in case two drugs are nearly the same. The psychotropic drugs are kept properly in the locked cabinet, and we got the chance to see them as the pharmacist assistant opened the cabinet to show it to us.
I don't prefer to become an outpatient pharmacist because outpatient pharmacy has rigid space and have to face many different kind of people and have to see the patient about 200 per day from the morning to the evening. It's just tiring.
I think it is quite interesting to be an outpatient pharmacy because I love to meet people, different people every day, and then I want to give them a good advice on how to use the medication in a good way, and I want to play a good role as a pharmacist as we are the frontliner of healthcare practitioners.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuhu. Now we're gonna talk about the medical store. Medical store is one of the department in IMC, which is responsible to supply the drug and medicines for the hospital. And another one is to supply the general consumable like syringe and needle to the hospital also. The medical store purchase the item through 3 channels: direct order, company, or tender. Usually direct order. There are 3 procedure for the medical store. The first one is the purchase order or PO, which will be used when purchasing items, and then DO, delivery order, when the item arrive and we receive the item. The PO and DO must tally, and the last one is the invoice. Invoice is the form that will be used to claim the payment. When these 3 form, PO, DO, and invoice is settled down, we can submit to the staff and get good receipt note JRN, which will be used to for purposes of record. Alright, so when the item arrive, there are several specifications that we need to check. The first one is the name of the item. The second one is the quantity of the items and the condition of the items. And one of the most important is the expiry date. If the item is near to the expiry date, we can either reject or accept, but with conditions. And the last one is the batch number, which we can use to refer if the product is recalled or complete.
Basically, medical store will store their item in 4 ways. Firstly, they store the item in the fresh air room where there is no air conditioning or fan in that space. Secondly, they will store the item in the freezer for the item that required negative 19 degrees Celsius, such as vaccine. And thirdly, medical store store the item in the refrigerator for the item that required 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, such as insulin. And last but not least, medical store the item in the air conditioning room at 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. in this air conditioning room, they keep the item accordingly to their research design. In this conditioning room, there is a lock room for they store for the medical store keep their psychotropic drug, and this room only accessible for the people that has the access.
To summarize everything, I think the hospital visit is really a success because from the hospital visit we could discover our patient, what are we interested in, such as different departments, such as some are interested in outpatient pharmacy while some others are interested in inpatient pharmacy. As for me, I am personally interested in outpatient pharmacy because I love to communicate, I love talking. Therefore, I think I will be counseling patients on a daily basis at the outpatient pharmacy. Yeah, I can do that on a daily basis. Last but not least, we would like to express our gratitude to all of the lecturers from Pharmacy Practice Department for making the hospital visit a success, for making it a reality in which it really opened up our views on pharmacy service.